I'm Rebecca Carner, Biofield Tuner. I am filming this video today from a secondary location which I have worked from often, but I've never filmed here. And I hope to make more videos from this location. So this is background B, just FYI. So the tuning, I'm hoping to keep this one fairly short. The tuning today, the title is Softness is Strength. That is the title that's sort of been bouncing around in my head. But I want to lead with, with the hard because in two really, I think, significant ways, I saw this past week alone ways that people, me, others, clients, humanity, culture at large, stays hard and thinking, if I stay hard, if I muscle over, if I push, if I should, if I stay in line, if I keep those guardrails up, if I do the right thing, it's all these kind of hard edges, that's gonna fix it. And anymore, it seems that very much the inverse is true. It's the softness is our strength. What if, rather than telling, we asked questions and stayed curious and really received somebody else's point of view or somebody else's ideas, or just allowed that they were going to do their thing and that we didn't have to impose anything about ourselves on them. This sort of edge, this in biofield tuning, when you work with people's energies, there is a very noticeable edge on things. It's not visible, but you 100% feel it, just like you would a knife. And there are so many aspects of our modern culture that are very hard-edged, and it's kind of hurting us all in as far as I can see. And I'd really like to soften the edge in this video of doing or demanding or fixing or imposing or imprinting, all that kind of, not that, yeah, I'd really like to tune into this idea of progression, progress, productivity, success, gain, but have it have a soft edge and not this kind of hard edge of tasking and doing and pushing and overcoming in this sort of overbearing way. I had a very beautiful example of it walk into my office this week with a new client who was incredibly intelligent and in a lot of physical and emotional pain. And she was smart enough to know all the things that she should be doing in terms of self-care to help care for her body a little bit better and to help care for herself in ways both relationally with people as well as just, physical tasks of self-care. And in the session, I really noticed how she would kind of Eeyore on herself. Yeah, I know, I really should. And I told her, I said, I don't believe in shoulds. You can't should on yourself. And you really can't should on others. But more than anything, I find that a lot of my clients, a lot of us are caught in loops, unproductive loops of shoulding on ourselves. And I quoted Eileen McCusick, the founder of Biofield Tuning. I quoted her lovely quote to my client, which is nobody ever bullied themselves into health and well-being. And like, and then there's just a whole lot of bullying going on sort of externally, and we've all internalized it. So which came first, the chicken or the egg? Did we inside bully ourselves, or all of our inner critics beating us up so much that we're now sort of culturally, systemically beating up on each other? Or did it start out there and now, who knows? It's here. So what I'm going to try and do today is flip the spin on that. And what I'd really like to do is soften the edge. Soften the edge of all the things that we, in our most beautiful heart of hearts, want for ourselves and want for each other and want for the people that we love. And we think we have to muscle our way there, or prove our way there, or fight our way there. And while effort and consistency and application and intention and accountability and responsibility, while all those things are needed for progress and change, it doesn't have to be hard. So I'd really like to tune in to see if we can soften our leading edge of dealing with both ourselves and with others. And in truly not a lip service way, but rather than like shoulding on somebody or shoulding on ourselves, I really should drink more water, I really should get up and stretch, I really, should. It's like, what if that were a gift? What if you gifted that to yourself? What if it were just a suggestion? And what if they were all okay? You can sit and rest. You can keep working. You can get up and stretch. You can take a deep breath and take a sip of water. You can listen to your boss, your coworker, your kid, your spouse, and listen to them say that thing that you know that they're gonna say one more time. And instead of doing it like that, what if you really softened? Wow, that brought up emotion. Yeah, the edge is we already know. Yeah, the edge is I know what they're going to say. I know what I should do. I know what he's going to do. I know. It's all got an edge. Whereas what if we softened and thought, what's really going on here? What's really being said? What's really being felt? Rather than, I already know what she's going to say. What if you listen to the words behind the words? I know what he's going to do. In one of my more recent videos, I think I talked about predictive text. And with all this discussion with AI and algorithms and information, staying soft, being curious, listening with fresh ears, listening for the first time to the thing that you always know that she's going to say. that makes it unpredictable. When we know what somebody's going to do, know what we're going to do, know what such and such institution is going to do, I know what they're going to do. That makes it very predictable, which both makes us very self-righteous, often it makes us right when we do appropriately predict what somebody's going to do or say. But it also makes it very predictable, and then we get to drive things down this sort of foregone conclusion, this sort of predetermined avenue. But to stay soft, the avenue isn't really paved. It suddenly becomes this wide open pasture that we're free four-wheeling on, as opposed to this avenue that we're driving down. And that's where the possibilities are. The thing is that it takes a little bit of energy to hold things open. It does. It takes more energy. Yeah, the thought that what really just came was, it takes less energy to be predictable, but there's no creativity in predictability. Shoot. That's the name of the video. Right on. Okay, well, I thought it was going to be something else, and then here in the tuning came the title. There is no creativity in predictability. The thing is that to hold things open, to not presuppose, there's a lot of emotion, there's exhaustion, there's, God, right at that edge, if I don't already know, it's weird. It's like there's this collective energy that just wants to puddle. It's like, okay, it's like this little heart of mine, there's like a little thing on the inside that's like, yeah, if I don't know, maybe I can have this amazing future that I dream of. And it's like, yeah, or, the new earth, or whatever. There's this little glimmer of hope, but then the thought of holding that softness right there, wow, so the thought of holding that softness takes so much energy. It's like one of those toys that you press the button on the bottom and they just collapse. It's like, oh, that just takes too much. Yeah, and I really am sympathetic to that. And to hold that softness with another, to hold that softness with the political party that differs from yours, to hold that softness with yourself. What if you did things differently? What if you reacted differently? What if you heard something differently? Eileen McCusick talks a lot, one of her phrases is garbage in, garbage out. And there's just, I like it when she says that because there's so much truth to it. Unfortunately, there's also just a remarkable amount of garbage being passed amongst each other right now. Oh my gosh. Wow. A lot of garbage. And the thought of either like choosing a different way to input that is different. Takes a little bit of energy, yeah. Yeah, it's like there is no creativity in predictability. A quote I heard years ago at this point by Esther Perel was that extemporaneous creativity can only occur in the absence of vigilance. Meaning, if you're looking out to make sure that you're safe, you can't, oh, let me come up with a beautiful new painting to create. Like, those two conditions inside a system, they can't exist at the same moment. And that is, I have found that to be true ever since I heard her say it. I never heard anybody say it quite as concisely, and she hit the nail on the head. There also, if you are waiting to if you're waiting for somebody to stop talking or waiting for a situation to play out just so that you can see if it matched your predicted outcome, right? You are not in that moment creating your life. You have taken yourself out of the creative, active role in your life, and you've now become a spectator of somebody else's action or some other country's action, or whatever you're looking at. But you've taken yourself from active creator into spectator, and you're sitting back and saying whether or not you're right. And we even do this internally. Like, I know I should get up and stretch, but I bet I'm gonna watch myself get up and get a bowl of ice cream instead, or not get up and not do anything and sit here and have my joints stiffen up and my tissues stay compacted. Whereas to get up and stretch instead, or to get up and drink that glass of water, or to really listen to what that person is saying and then ask a different question, or receive it differently, we've now come into co-creation with ourselves or with that person, rather than that hard edge, And there we get to create. We can flip the spin. We can create something different. We can create a meaningful conversation rather than just be right. And staying soft. Oh. Big breath. Oh, big breath. Good, good, good. Yeah, that's softness. It's a remembered scene from a movie that I don't even remember the movie, but I remember the scene really specifically, and I feel like maybe I've mentioned it in other videos, and I know I talk about it with clients. But there was a scene one time in some sort of medieval movie that I was watching where the stranger was helping a walled city under siege by the baddies, right? And the baddies were coming up the hill and trying to break down the door of this walled city. And it was going to be fairly short order until the people with the baddies with the battering ram broke through the door. And the sort of stranger protagonist said to the mayor or whatever, the chief of the town, don't reinforce the doors with more wood. Take the wood and make poles, and then backfill between the door and the poles with earth, so that it makes it soft. And so literally then the baddies on the other side of the door would just, it would basically make it, instead of a breakable door, it would in fact make it an earthen mattress that they would just bounce the battering ram off of sort of indefinitely. And it worked. And there are just so many ways that I feel like we defend ourselves against our inner critic. We feel like we have to defend ourselves in this incredibly polarized atmosphere that we're in, between the sexes, between the races, between the political parties, but front of the house, back of the house, worker bee in management, it's just everywhere. It's, we feel this defensiveness that I get. I mean, I feel it too. I'm swimming in the waters too, y'all. I fall prey to it all the time when I want to stay soft, and I will get hard or edgy or reactive or defensive. And then I'm always sorry afterwards. Like, it's never the solution, but trying to stay soft. Like, this video for me was so, right at that edge. Because this isn't a one and done. We can't tune into this and then, voila, okay, check, that got done today and now it's good forevermore. No. It's a tuning that we have to kind of drop into every time. How can I keep that soft edge? Because the collective field of defensiveness, we're swimming through it. It's literally in our bones. So it's us, kind of like putting the needle back on the record. It's us. It's up to us to sort of take the needle away from the hard edge and place it back into the soft creativity. Soft co-creation. The softness of choice. It's not right or wrong. It's a choice. Yeah, it is a choice. Really nice big breath, you guys. Just breathe. The breath, right? A pillow of air, a billow of air. It's got a soft edge. Creativity is an emergence. Yeah. 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 It's coming through really strong. Like, literally, even in the creation of life, a baby is born with the rounded edge of its head. It's not a hard edge. Creation doesn't happen with an arrow. Creation happens as an emerging, soft-edged orb. And everything has just gotten so filed and chiseled, and it's making me think of that sort of nail art that I see on people that is very pointy and hard. I mean, that's a creative expression, to be sure. That is nail art creativity right now, and that's fine. But I am talking about the sort of the more meta level of creative energy. I'm not saying that people's nail choices aren't creative, because they certainly are. But how do we stay soft? And would we choose creativity over the predictability that our systems crave because they're a little taxed and a little tired? But can we hold enough in reserve? Can we hold enough juice? Just soft. I don't know. It doesn't have to be... Because in the end, softness takes so much less energy. It's weird. It's like you need it. It's like you've got to front load. It's like you've got to, what do they call it for endurance athletes when they carb up the night before or whatever? It's like you have to preload just enough energy, just enough in your tank to have enough juice to hold that softness. But then afterwards, softness takes exponentially less energy than the hard drive. You know, because softness, it's like to coast down a hill versus going RPM in the red with the little arrow in the red. It takes so much less energy to coast, but it takes a little bit more preloaded energy to get to the top of the hill, but then you get to coast down, right? And just explore all the way down. New terrain, whereas when you're just driving so hard. There. Nice. All right. I'm pleased with that. I'm going to yeah, there we go. It's funny, I mean, both the very nature of this tuning as well as the sort of end feel of the field is a real tenderness. And there's no, I didn't have to get somewhere, you know, there's no abject goal there, but it was just really soft and tender. I'm going to wrap up the collective field. And really wrapping into this curious and compassionate creativity. Yeah. Ooh, hit the ceiling fan. Wow. Yeah. The strength of that last tone. I mean, and there you have it, folks. The softness really is the strength. It is so much more powerful because it's empowered. I'm going to leave it there. I wanted to keep this video short. Thank you guys. Welcome from my remote location. I hope to be doing more videos from here. Please visit RebeccaKarner.com if you would like to contact me for a private session. And I also have more information on Biofield Tuning on my website. Have a great day.